went to Cuddy's place to deliver the scepter, but Cuddy wasn't there. He'd been arrested by the Hammerites. Apparently they didn't approve of his occupation, and I doubt they approve of mine. So hopefully they'll never catch sight of me when I break him out of their prison. Which is what I'm going to do. They're holding Cuddy in a mining complex carved out of a quarry. The quarry's flooded, but the Hammers still work the top-level mines and have converted part of the complex into a penitentiary for those who violate their tenets. An associate of mine was confined there and has provided me with a map. It would be difficult to get in by way of the main gate, but there is another option. The mines break the surface of a hill south of the quarry. I'll drop into the mines and head for the prison, which will be found somewhere uphill and to the north. The Hammers don't venture into these lower mine levels because they're reputed to be haunted. I'd rather not have to do this job, but Cuddy's a reliable fence, and I don't appreciate the Hammerites abducting him. And he owes me money for the Bafford job.
Break from Cragscleft prison. Difficulty hard. Your map doesn't show the way through the mines, so you're going to have to scout around to make your way to where they hold the prisoners. Cuddy still owes you for the Bafford job. Break him out, and you'll get your cash. Izzet the Beggar borrowed your lucky hand of glory, and knowing him, probably hid it from the Hammer's body search in ways you'd rather not think about. And get it back. There's bound to be some pricey religious icons in any Hammer complex. Try to come out with at least 500 worth of their stuff. Escape from the prison with Cuddy. Hey everyone! Welcome back to some more Let's Play Thief Gold. I can't really think of a whole lot to talk about here. So, the introduction video made it sound like Garrett appreciates the amount of effort Cuddy has gone through to fence the stolen goods that he finds. And he's very interested in getting him out of jail so he can continue to do that. Although, I suppose Cuddy will have to relocate and remain as far away from the Hammers as possible after we get him out of this. But at least it also sounds like we'll be able to get the cash we have for that amazing scepter we got from Lord Bafford's manor. Otherwise, all that is a stick to Garrett. We'll have to find some other place to fence it off to. The Lucky Hand of Glory sounds like it's something that you could ingest or stick someplace so the Hammers couldn't find it. But to my knowledge, a Hand of Glory is a skeletal or like zombified hand with a candle on the back that when that candle is lit will paralyze anyone staring at it and keep them paralyzed until it's no longer in their vision. You could leave the hand somewhere and then do whatever it is you wish and grab the hand and leave. I don't think the candle runs out either, so it's a great way to leave people where they are forever. I suppose if you wanted to do that and let people starve to death or until their muscles gave out. But this Hand of Glory will just be a skeletal hand. I have no clue why Garrett has one of these. I'm guessing he had it on like a necklace or something. This also maybe proves a little bit, that proves the wrong term to use, but maybe this indicates that Garrett believes in luck and has desired and wants this back. I guess the luck it gave Izzet the Beggar was not the good kind. It sounds like it's going to be an escort mission, getting Cuddy out of here as well. Will be interesting. We'll have to consider how we're getting him out on the way in. Maybe Cuddy will have paid a little bit of attention to what's going on inside the prison and might have a different way out for us. Let's go ahead and get to the... Did I say the deployment screen earlier? Let's get to the shop. I've been playing way too much Lobotomy Corporation. Alright, so as before, we will go ahead and read about any of the things that we have not read about earlier. So we're starting with 2 moss arrows this time. This arrow sends out a cloud of moss upon impact, which settles into a soft and silent carpet. The arrow will strike something and then fall to the ground in a clump of moss. That moss then spews out moss clumps all around it, creating indeed a carpet you can walk on. We have a waterproof lantern with no description. Interesting. The mines are a little dark. I do wish that we had this lantern in every mission that we were going on, because it could be helpful to see in some of these later missions. But alas, this is the only one we will have it in. We have 2 noisemakers as well. The mechanism in this arrow produces a strange noise upon impact, useful as a distraction. So it's not really a strange noise, it's a mechanical winding sound, and a slight sound of hammers striking something as well. It's also not sharp, so this won't embed itself into anything, and it can ricochet and bounce around corners and so on. But the noisemakers are something I don't really like in Thief 1. I don't remember them in Thief 2 being much better. They're only as good as the AI who is searching for you, and the AI tends to not be smart about going to the arrow. I generally prefer using broadheads, they're much cheaper. But you can take the noisemakers back after you fire them if you're able to get back to where they were. We're also starting with 20 broadheads, which we are hoping to not use against the hammers, and 10 water arrows. Over here, we have one new thing. Well, 2 tips and then 1 new thing. A speed potion. This potion will greatly increase your speed for a little while. It's very expensive, at 500 gold to purchase one of them, and they last for maybe 10 to 12 seconds or so before the effect expires. It doesn't reduce the amount of sound you make, it doesn't make you any less visible, but you gain quite a bit of speed. Alright, well, let's go ahead and begin the purchasing. I do not like doing a mission without a starting healing potion, so we're going to buy a healing potion to start. Next, some moss arrows could be useful. The Hammerites like working factories. This generally means metal, and I would believe that Garrett is familiar with their temples. They are likely to have tile in a few places as well. Let's buy both of these. We can probably buy a speed potion, just in case we need it. And the rest of our cash can be spent on water arrows. At least, that's what I would like to do. But we have a house rule in play, where I must buy all tips that are for sale. So, a former prisoner of Cragscleft says he has info about the haunted mines. And a hot tip for 300 gold. A few well-placed inquiries might reveal where the hammers are keeping Cuddy. Alright. That gives us 107 left. Let's just buy 2 more water arrows then. I'm hoping that we can use broadheads to maybe help us down zombies. And the water arrows will prove useful for knocking out torches, assuming there are a ton of them inside the Hammerite Temple. But if we can find some holy water, it might make dealing with the zombies on the way out a little easier. Maybe we can find something in the Hammerite Temple. As for the tips, well, we'll talk about the tips a little bit when we get into the game. And remember, everyone, I've beaten this game a lot. 13 times at least. And I just recently, about a month ago, played through this mission. I know already what to do and what works and what doesn't, but Garrett here does not. So we will buy this stuff to start. And with that said, let me quickly save this part off. And now we get going. And I'm going to make a quick save here that I'm not going to count as the one quick save. So I can just reload this. If something happens, I don't have to repurchase all the equipment again. And, alright everyone. So this penitentiary is not located in the city. It is some distance away. We don't hear any sounds, so it's not like it's near a quarry near the city. Let's look at the map to start. Here's what we know about how to climb up into where the penitentiary is. I'm guessing there must be a far easier way to get to the hammers from the very upper section. I refuse to believe that they go through all these mines and out the way that we see behind us here. Careful, guard stations to the mine. So this is the main entrance. Looks like there's some storerooms off to the left and a power station out to the right, with a freight elevator over here, so an alternate entrance. We learned that the hammers force their prisoners to work the mines. I don't think they would have them carry ore to the factory through this area. These look like this is too important for the hammers to do that and risk people running through and damaging their equipment. Looks like the factories have workers in them, at least 3, probably at all times, given that they're marked on the map. The hammers don't have servants like Lord Bafford does. Every hammer knows how to fight, and they fight well, so we're going to have to really be careful when we're exploring their territory. The cell blocks. Looks like there's a lower and upper level to each one of them, and there are guards stationed, looks like in these little rooms, to watch what's happening. The hammers will not grow tired of doing that. They are very righteous and believe they're doing the right thing. It won't be easy to get past them. And there are 4 cell blocks. Doesn't look like it's easy to get to some of them from other ones either. 2 and 4 are separated by this wall. Then it doesn't look like you can get to them from the lower or upper area from this side. We'd have to come from 3 to 4, and it looks like we might have to go through this yard in order to access any particular cell block. Alright. Let's take a look at those notes that we purchased. Or tips, rather. Word on the street is that the hammers are eager to take back the top level of the haunted mines because there's a specially blessed holy water font there. Well, it's a good thing that we bought all of those water arrows. When you interact with the holy water font, it will bless your water arrows, making them holy water arrows for 30 seconds. They do a significant amount of damage to the undead, and are one of the few weapons that can permanently destroy zombies. We have another tip. According to Dickett, a heretic who was recently let out of Cragscleft, Cuddy's being held in cell block 4. We learned recently that we can actually write stuff on the map. Oh, but we can write. Okay, so I can't use a capital B here. Is that permanently there? It is. Nice. Alright, well, before we get going into the mines, let's see if we can maybe... I think that's too high to mantle. Yes, and there's nothing for us to push or put in the way. Alright then. No more delaying of it. We can see from here that there looks like there's another exit, or entrance, or both, actually, into the mine. But we're not going to be able to climb up to get to it. So it's swimming for us. No current. I don't trust corpses like this, left to rot on the ground. If the mine is haunted, this could get back up as a zombie. We'll talk about them more when we see them, but if this is a zombie, it might give us a warning if we get too close to it. Swarms of flies will bite and sting if you walk too close to them or in them. Garrett seems like a rather matter-of-fact person. He's very practical, and it doesn't sound like he's that afraid of the undead. They're in the way. He has to be concerned about them, but he's not afraid of them. Or he wouldn't even consider doing this job with the rumors of there being undead here. A significantly larger spider than the other ones that we had attacked earlier. I've seen this happen before. That was a hit, but it went straight through the spider. Let's explore the mines a little more. Let the spider forget about the noise that we just made. We'll come back, though. We'd like to see what's down there without the spider being around. I would generally try to avoid killing living things, but I won't have any problems if they're in the way, or if I feel it's too risky. I think Garrett wouldn't have issues killing those things either. A silver and probably gold nugget. Someone who isn't Garrett can probably bring those to the bank to have them converted into coins. The hammers are probably not mining this for, say, precious metals, though they're nice to find. I would imagine it's probably iron, coal, or even just stone, since they use these things for mechanical purposes and to craft their hammers. Can't see if there's anything worth searching in this room, and I'm a little nervous getting close to that zombie. I'm nervous getting close to this one as well, though. Let's take the long way around and go back to where that spider was. The fact that there's a spider down there also means to me that there's no undead, or at least not currently active. Undead do not like the living and will kill them, whatever they are, wherever they are, if they find them. Well, That was interesting. We didn't make any sound upon landing on this metal platform. Oh, and it looks like the power is on here, judging from all the lights. That works out for us, as we can take this lift down. The spiders that we will be encountering are giant orb spiders. The little ones and the big ones. Little ones look exactly the same, only they're much smaller. They attack by biting or by lashing out with their front two legs. It looks like the legs on these spiders are barbed. Some spiders, I believe, can also spit at you, damaging you and rooting you in place if they can do so. They also jump. It can be quite terrifying if you weren't expecting that. Oh, a moss arrow, but nothing else here. Poor spider. Only thing down there was a moss arrow. Alright. So I think we've explored these tunnels. This lift goes up more. But the button to bring us up higher is missing. So we cannot use it here. And the same two buttons were down at the bottom floor there. Small crack in the wall there. Looks like it might lead up. And I can see another hole in the wall there, also covered by spider web, and there as well. I see no treasure down there, no ore or gems. Skeletal hands on the dead priest's corpse. Thankfully, none of them decide to get up. Oh. And our ascent is stopped. Looks like there was a cave-in at some point. Destroyed the ceiling here. And also the bridge. That's too far of a jump. We won't make that. But we can probably mantle on that from the side. That's a difficult jump to make, but I think we can do it. like that we're occasionally getting lit up by the light here. So we see some zombies actually walking around. Swarms of flies covering them as well. I think I saw 2 walking around down there. There are 2. There's a small passage to the left. There's also this hammer, a stained glass symbol, that could potentially tell us that that specially blessed holy water font is around the corner there. Let's see if maybe we can get the zombies to go someplace else. Here we go. If we're right, this will pay off. They didn't even turn around. Wonderful. A small chapel. Judging from the sound and the glow, this must be the holy water font. You can use these, generally, as often as you like, and it won't run out. However, keep in mind that even if you put away your water arrows, the timer on them is still ticking down. Vials of holy water allow you to have the same effect, but when you think you need it, rather than just around where the holy water font was located. As you can see, the undead are stunned for several seconds upon taking damage from holy water. And upon 2 strikes, 2 water arrows drawn fully back and blessed, it detonates them, splitting them up into their, corpse bits. Now that we don't have those zombies to worry about anymore, we can make a more thorough search of the chapel. If these were not important enough for the hammers to take them, then they're not going to miss those items. There's still a little bit of water left in this font, although it's not holy. Still, I'll take the extra water arrows. The fact that this is here tells me that there must be another altar in the penitentiary someplace, but it's quite some distance from the mines. If some of the hammers felt like they needed to pray, they would come here instead. Another healing potion. Looks like that's all we're getting from the chapel. Those weren't the only 2 undead, apparently. Our noisemaker. When it comes to other weaponry, such as your broadheads, they will harm the undead. But unlike holy water against zombies, they can just shrug it off. Zombies, thankfully, are very slow. terrifying, but very slow. They're also not known for their high levels of mental acumen. They are unable to remember you for very long and will lose track of you very easily. But make no mistake, they're still very dangerous. If you get pinned by 2 zombies or 3 zombies, you are dead. A Hammerite corpse with a sword in its hand. This is no Hammerite. You might not be able to tell, but it's got a skeletal face on it as well. I would imagine it would have chains around its legs too. It is thankfully a haunt that has not yet been fully possessed by the spirits of this place. Where did that other zombie get to? This is where we shot it from. Nothing. Looks like they were just mining tunnels, probably looking for a vein of something important. Again, I suspect it's probably iron that they were looking for here. We've searched all the potential passageways. Why don't we call the lift up here, though? If we have to beat a hasty retreat, we might be glad to be able to pull this, to immediately get on this and leave. Say what you will about the hammers. The mechanical devices look like they're built to last. Ahead of us, sitting on the rail, is a skeleton, shaking his head left to right, either watching for someone to approach or telling us, no, do not come this way. This is the way for us. barely hear the sound of someone talking. Sounds like we finally found the factory level. More silver and copper, I think, there.
When everyone else is out running around, when am I going to get my dinner? That's what I would like to know.
Oh, interesting. There's a destroyed zombie here.
Hammer, anvil, forge, and fire. Chase away the wicked lie.
I wonder if that zombie didn't walk here.
All these people I have to work with are so incompetent, so stupid, so lazy. I don't see why I should be the one to be put with these incompetent people.
The electrical light makes putting that torch out less attractive.
And the word went before him on a breeze. Here at last is a man with the mind of a general and the heart of a poet, yet also with the hands of a builder.
Oh, the zombie walked right up to them. I can see a head at their feet. This explains why they're not having a specific conversation that they're supposed to have. They would normally be talking about how there are very few novices now waiting to join their order. Far fewer. There are still some, but nowhere near as many. It would seem that the interest in being a hammer, and thus perhaps pursuing religion, as this is, I believe, one of the two main religions for this world, is waning. But I think one of them mentions that the youths of these days seek to learn about gold and politics, not honest craft.
So lazy. I don't see why I should be the one to be put with these incompetent people.
I'm wondering if we can. So
Hammer, anvil, forge, and fire. Chase away
that
the
there was a
crooked lie.
zombie here
Open doorway,
means
block
that they are
and
probably going to be
chase
much
the
more
from our dreams.
sensitive to anyone else trying to sneak past them. They'll be more alert.
Vigilance is our shield.
I don't know if we can get past them.
Knowledge is our weapon, with which we carve a path to an enlightened future.
We can make an attempt.
And the word went before him, on a breeze carrying our salvation. Here at last is a man with the mind of a general and the heart of a poet, yet also with the hands of a builder. He will lift us up from the earth.
There's a healing potion on this hammer's belt.
Vigilance is our shield that protects us from our squalid past. Knowledge is our weapon, with which we carve a path to an enlightened future.
We will not get past them.
And the word went before him, on a breeze carrying our salvation. Here at last is a man with the mind of a general and the
Well, since they took out one zombie, maybe they can take out another.
When everyone else is out running around, when am I going to get my dinner? That's what I would like to know.
The zombie is more interested in us than the hammers. Suppose we smell better? I don't think zombies need to breathe, so it's quite possible that it could probably chase us under here. Ooh, some silver and copper, and hopefully this leads out to some place we've been to before, and it does. That lake we saw before. Or a pond. It's gonna go right back to where it had been earlier. Destroying it with holy water is going to make a lot of noise. Everyone will hear the explosion. I would like the hammers to kill this for me so I don't have to do that. Okay. We'll have to be fast. And we'll try going around it. But we won't have very long. We could maybe use a noisemaker to attract everything together and have the hammers kill that for us. I think we will do that. Actually, yes, I think we'll do that.
I should be the one to be put with these incompetent people. Hammer, anvil, forge, and fire. Chase away the hoofed liar. Use the doorway, block and beam. Chase the trickster from our dream.
I want it to be a little closer. We'll wait here for a bit. Eventually, the hammers will go back to talking amongst themselves with that zombie destroyed.
I shall spy thee ere long, thief.
They must be referring to, I suppose, the zombie's ability to steal the soul or the skin of the person it had once been. Okay, I think they've gone back. He's not looking this way. I think it's a mistake, Tim. It's not worth the risk. Let's see what this zombie was guarding. We haven't heard a door open, so I think it's safe for us to be out here. Stone and gravel. The area on the other side of this door is gravel. Quite know how to sneak past him. We might be able to use our last noisemaker out, shooting it through this doorway to distract him. We'll also need to consider about how we're going to get past him with Cuddy. But I think our immediate needs should be to get past him without that concern at this moment. Bit dangerous, but we're gonna give it a try, everyone. Once I see him in the room, we'll fire the arrow.
I heard that. Show thyself or face the consequences. Come out again, whoever thou be.
All right. I suppose Cuddy can follow us back through the main exit. Back to the mines if it comes down to it. Let's see how difficult it would be for him to make that journey with me. There's a hammer on patrol there. He doesn't come up the stairs. That must be the machine rooms. We must be here. It might be interesting to reach the storerooms across from them, but I don't know how we would do that without knocking this one out. And we might need all my blackjacks for the penitentiary area. That area's too well lit. Whatever's in the storerooms will just have to stay there. Ha! Making more sledgehammers for themselves.
I would not have thought that rats would dare their teeth against the builder's axe.
In truth, I have never heard such carrying on as this thief's pawned Cutty.
One would think these scum had never faced tribulation in their lives.
For a time, I thought Block 4 might never sleep again for his coughs. But he quiets now.
Good. Death or durance, 'twill be the same for him in the end.
Cell block 4.
Hello? Who art thou?
But we're not going to be able to get there very easily from this passage. And I just instinctively went into this small crack in the wall. It sounds like one of those Hammerites is on the way here, who was just having that conversation. Maybe we can take something off of his belt. You might not be able to see it very well, but there is a periscope here, which is spinning. Right about now, it is looking at us. That allows the Hammerite, who is on the waypoint here, to see what that sees. It looks like there's a lock across from us. There must be a portcullis that drops down to stop anyone from leaving or entering if an alarm is sounded. And it is not possible for us to get through this without being detected. It is too bright. We cannot reach cell block 4 from this passage. Let's see if this leads anywhere in particular.
Who art thou there in the shadow? Is someone there? Who art thou? I shall still find thee, never forget. Beware an intruder!
I don't think I was detected. A corpse. A key on the body. And some arrows. Some moss arrows and water arrows with a bunch of money down here. He probably tried to escape. He must have escaped and crawled down here, but couldn't find a way out and starved to death. Or succumbed to whatever afflictions the hammers had put on him. The alarms are not going off. The portcullis was not dropped. They did not find us in the end. Let's keep going. Let's go right back here and wait till that hammer leaves again. Cell block 1 and 2 is ahead of us. 1 would link us to 3. No, it wouldn't. We need to get to the yard. It won't matter which of these we take. Please don't come up the stairs. We need to figure out where Cuddy is.
What is that? Who goes? Tis the builder's piece now.
It sounds like there's a hammerite walking down in the lower cell block at the moment. Let's wait until it passes by here. These prisoners have very poor lodgings indeed in this prison. I suppose this is what prisons mostly looked like back then, you know, when hammers existed and undead were walking around in the mines. They were there to be punished. See how much he likes staying there. There was a book on that table. We'll want to take a peek at it. I want to not hear this hammer walking around first. Or at least have him over here. Cell block floor. Cell 1. Possum. Lady Taker. Gelding. Misa. Vandal. Whisking. Factory work. Wills. Heretic. Meditation. Factory work. 6. Cuddy. Thief's pawn. Palms scalded daily. Tyball. Whorekeep. Died of flux. Some awful punishments in addition to this environment and working in the factory for some of them. I think, though, perhaps some of them are deserving of these punishments. Lady Taker makes it sound like rape to me. Cell block 6 would be that one.
All right, old man. Let's get you out of here and me my money.
Afraid you're gonna be disappointed?
Good thing you're dying, Cuddy, or I'd have to kill you for stiffing me. Again.
Snap, snap, puppy. But I owe you, so... Felix went after the Horn of Quintus, down at Bonehorde. Left me his notes. The Hammers got him, put him in their evidence box. Loot collection, more like. Upstairs. Officers' quarters. Once you're up there, hidden passage. If damp hadn't rotted my lungs.
Has someone been about here?
The Hammerites notice when one of these cell block doors is open when it shouldn't be. He might have noticed a corpse as well.
You get me out of here!
Our objective of finding Release Cuddy has failed. Cuddy has died. But he told us that we need or want to find this evidence locker. There's information about the Horn of Quintus, apparently, in something called the Bone Horde. It might be worth acquiring it, and in fact, we have to go and get it now. We still need to find Izzet the Beggar. He wasn't listed in cell block 4.
Who passes there?
The builder's piece now.
I thought I spied something. The noise has stopped. It was no doubt nothing.
All these people I have to work with are so incompetent, so stupid, so lazy. I don't see why I should be the one to be put with these incompetent people.
We can try to do this very quickly. But if we're detected, this goes south very fast.
What's that in the shadow there? Why do I have to be the one down here guarding all this one?
Guess it was nothing.
That book is going to be difficult for me to get.
Knowledge is our weapon. We carve a path to an enlightened future.
Here we go.
Ooh, these people have to work.
2. Dicket, heretic, sour mash, released upon recantation and informing. 3. Latin, false tale, tongue pierced, factory work. Basso, firelighter, branding. Doreen, whore, shorn and branded, to be released. Tarquis, gold lender, nose cropped, factory work.
I'm harmless. Leave me alone.
So lazy. I don't see why I should be the one to be put with these incompetent people. Why do I have to be the one down here guarding all this one?
Is it the beggar was not listed among those in these cells, so he's not in this cell block.
Hammer, anvil, forge and fire. Chase away the hoofed liar. Roof and doorway, block and beam. Chase the trickster from our dreams.
Whether they be stone or flesh.
I don't see why I should be blessed here. When everyone else is out running around, when am I going to get my dinner? That's what I would
Vigilance
like to
is our shield that protects us from the squalid past. Knowledge is our weapon with which we carve a path to an enlightened future.
Cell block 1, I think, is what leads to the officers' quarters. Yes, yep. We are in 3 currently. Maybe 1 is where Is It the Beggar will be found as well. That would be very lucky if so. We might as well find out where Is It is first. Cuddy mentioned secret passage while we're up there. There may be another way out, or some other treasure, or something to help us at least not have to re-go through the penitentiary.
Halt. What was that? Someone there? Well, I see nothing now.
And the word went before him, on a breeze carrying our salvation. Here at last is a man with the mind of a general and the heart of a poet, yet also
The skeleton in there is It the Beggar.
Hammer, anvil, forge and fire. Chase away the hoof and fire. Open doorway, block and beam. Chase the trickster from...
Is it? You've looked a lot better. We didn't read the book. We'll do that now as well. And here is our hand of glory. A mummified hand. Which looks like it belonged to Is It the Beggar. So maybe he had the lucky hands all along. Cell Block 1. Rendell, Jackablade, Flogging, Factory Work. Dellin, Lady Taker, Scalding. Senate, Cutthroat, Razor Finger Removed, Caning, Factory Work. Is It, Cager, Caning and Sour Mash, Die Neath Righteous Punishment. That this is a barracks makes me rather nervous. We're moving up to where there are additional hammers.
This must be how they spend all those tithes.
The hammers are likely to notice when some of their religious items are stolen. If we're going to take those, we want to make sure we're not coming back through here. And we don't know what's up here. Let's follow this one on the right. Some broadhead arrows there. Interesting. I don't know where that hammerite is now. We haven't heard any doors open, though. Let's wait here until we hear him pass us by. While we're waiting, I can talk briefly about how much I really like the hammers as a part of this world. Their religion seems to make sense, and their religious texts are have very well phrased proverbs, and their sayings make a lot of sense as to why they worship something called the Builder, and how they apply their faith to building, as it were. They're not silly. They're very dangerous, which is something else I very much like about them. Finally, they are not corrupt, not at a core at least, which is I am a little too useful when I'm playing various games. Seems like the priest is always the guilty
Wonder if I
one.
have time to stop for a snack.
Garrett will likely have some trouble vendoring off Lord Bafford's scepter now. He'll also need to find another fence. I want to wait until that hammer who's walking has passed us. Then we can either tail him or go the way he came from.
What is that? Who goes?
Heard thou? Terius, seeking to save his purse, didst buy his new knife from the Shemenovs, not our smiths.
How durst he? Had he no shame?
He certainly hadst fill of shame when his blade did snap at supper.
Ha. The Shemenov are shoddy craftsmen. Tarius is well learnt on.
Interesting. Hammers take great pride in their work and view it's worth the cost to purchase. Judging from the fact that that other Hammerite's knife snapped, they're probably correct. There might have been something fancy, something worth it up on that altar, but I don't have a means to blind them. I don't have a speed potion to dash up there and away while they're panicking about me suddenly showing up. Whatever's on that altar can stay there. Grass.
Vigilance is our shield that protects us from the squalid past.
It's not necessary, but we haven't used very many of our moss arrows.
Light in the future. And the faithful spoke, saying, Lo, with the scepter of righteousness has justice been forged. If thou wilt hearken to the signs
The key from the Hammerites doesn't open this lock,
thou wilt share.
but the key we found on the corpse does.
Cuddy won't be needing this anymore.
Let's spend some time and read that note we just picked up. Cuddy, I got me a big one, I does. The Horn of Quintus, Cuddy. I can be paying off some debts with this one, believe you me. I got me a map, drawn by some dead old bugger, which shows a way in. I knows it's down there, in the Bone Horde, just like they always said. They say that the dead walk down there, but, it's worth the risk now, ain't it? The way I hears it, the sound of the horn echoing will lead me right to the thing. I'm leaving you a copy of the map, in case anything happens to me down there, but more's the chance that I'll be seeing you topside, making a toast with the finest wine to be had. See you then. Could there have been a secret passage somewhere in here? You were told about it. None of these books are movable. I'm too nervous to search those. Oh, but there is a note here.
Whether they be stone.
Brother Keybond, I charge thee to organize a search detail for that Jackablade Namen. Somehow he hath slipped his bonds, whilst Brother Inquisitor did his turn for but a moment. Now he hath escaped with half the contents of the evidence box. Brother Carpenter hath reported a commotion to the west whilst he was repairing the stocks. Start thou there. The wretch could be not found soon, doubtless he has succumbed to the rigors of his interrogation. In truth, I wouldst rather find him in a search now than by the reek later. And who knows what may become of his mortal frame, should he reach the haunted mines. The Hammers wanted to find the body before it rotted away, but they did not search that little alcove that we went into.
And the builder said, if the foundation is weak, do wail and gnash of teeth. Do ask it to recore itself. Nay, do tear it down and begin anew. So shall it be with all my children, whether they be stone.
A small private area to pray in. Well, Hammers, been really lucky that we found that key and that secret passage. It's up here somewhere. And there it is. Doesn't exist, by the way, here on on expert mode. You have to find a different way out. Let's double check to make sure it does indeed potentially lead out of this place. There is a small stream, and it looks like it goes somewhere. We'll explore it. We won't need this key any longer. I guess we can leave it here for the Hammers to find. And since we don't want it getting soggy, let's have ourselves a bit to eat. A small current. A stronger current. Let's see where this will take us. Feels like we are heading quite some distance down. And it looks like past the guard that we had seen earlier. We're now out of the prison section, the penitentiary, and it feels like we're going back to the mines. Hope it's someplace safe. And it might be. Assuming we don't have any undead waiting for us here that have risen where there were none before. It looks like Garrett was successful, at the very least, getting in and out of the Hammer Complex. With a bit of cash to his name as well. And information, which is always very important in the business Garrett is in. Potentially a large haul, if we can acquire the Horn of Quintus. We're not quite out yet. I shouldn't jinx it. But unless we stumble down a ladder, which is quite possible, we will have done it. Fantastic job, Garrett. Well done. This went very smoothly, assuming again that we get out. I can see daylight ahead. Incredible work, Garrett. Got in, got out, found Cuddy, but we were not able to rescue him. Oh man, that was good. We didn't get detected. Several people got suspicious of us, but we weren't seen. Sneaking past a guard by the lift was well done, Tim, and we only had to knock out 2 people. It was rough, because I was really thinking, man, I really want to knock this guy out. It would make it much easier for us to get past him. But thankfully, we didn't have to. We still only knocked out 2 people. Yes, 2 knockouts. And we killed 1 giant spider and a bunch of zombies. Hammerites should actually be paying us for the job we do, since we just eliminated all the undead in the haunted mines that were active. Well, I guess they eliminated 2 of them. We killed the rest. We eliminated a giant spider as well, and we found the key for their evidence lockers. I think we earned the cash that we found. We also got almost all of it. I think the bit we missed was actually on that altar. I think there's another hammer there. I think I've only ever managed to grab it once, and that was when I had a speed potion to dash up there and take it, because they are chasing you at that point, and they're super aware of where you might be. But we managed it. That's awesome. Getting almost all the loot. All right, everyone. So thanks for watching. That will do it for this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.